What's the price what it takes for you to give a blowjob? Does being a Green Beret gets you more chicks? Do first group 18 Charlies really like ladyboys? Who would win in a fight? Me or Jake Swade? Today we're going to read through your questions, post it on Instagram, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my abilities. All right, first question, guys. Morsock or seal? Again, I think I've answered something similar in the episode I did last week about, I think a guy wanted to know if he should go seal or Green Berets. When it comes to Morsock or Navy SEAL, guys, it is entirely up to you. You have to do your research, right? You have to be invested in this decision. I can't sit here and tell you, hey, Morsock is better than SEALs or SEALs are better than Morsock. That is for you to decide based on your qualities, the type of missions that you're looking for, because Morsock's mission and SEAL's missions are completely different, right? So I would urge you to do some additional research to figure this out yourself. All right, let's check out the next question, guys. Do you know anyone that thought about hazing an officer or a high rank NCO? Hey, so within Special Forces, we do that all the time, all right? We got to make sure the guys to our left and to our right have thick skin, and we do that by hazing them. We do that by pranking them. It doesn't matter if you're an officer or if you're a E78. You show up to the team as a new addition, you're gonna get some type of hazing, right? Because guys have to know what you're made of, what pisses you off, what calms you down, and all that good stuff, right? So yeah, it happens a lot in special operations. I can't really speak to Big Army because when I was there wasn't a lot of that going on because we were deploying all the time, right? Yeah, let's check out the next question, guys. Who would win in a fight, me or Jake Swade? That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Jake is a little stockier, and he used to be a wrestler, right? So if he and I were to go at it, I would have to make sure I keep my distance, right, and not give him a chance to take me to the ground. So it would probably be, me boxing and him trying to take me to the ground. Although from speaking to him, he does a lot of boxing also. I don't know. That'll be an interesting one, guys. How about you guys let me know who you think would win in a fight, me or Jake? All right? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Let's get to the next question. This guy wants to know my favorite weapon system. My favorite weapon system would have to be the minigun, right? The Mark 44. If you've never had a chance to fire that thing, I recommend that you go to your nearest special operation entity and see if you can get behind a minigun. That shit is life altering, right? It's like freaking a SF dude's fucking wet dream, right? So yeah, minigun for sure. All right, next question. How hard was selection for you? Selection for me wasn't difficult. I had hard events. All right, when I went through, selection was 2 weeks. So it was literally like back to back to back to back. So I didn't have time to think about how hard it was. I just kept going from one event to the other, right? So team week was probably my most challenging week. And then I had some struggles at Land Nav. But overall, I don't think it was hard because when I went, I was in shape. And the reason why I wanted to do it was stronger than anything they threw at me at selection, right? Now, keep in mind, selection is just the gateway to the qualification course. The qualification course was a lot harder for me than selection was, all right? Let's keep reading these questions, guys. All right, are there foreigners working in SF? Now, the word foreigner, guys, keep in mind, I'm a foreigner too, right? I was born in Haiti. However, in order to join special operations, you have to get a citizenship, right? Once you become a citizen, then you can apply to go towards special operations. So it is possible. You just have to do your due diligence to make sure you get there. All right, let's check out the next question, guys. What's the strongest bench you've ever seen from a team guy? The strongest bench I've ever seen. Dude, I honestly don't know, man. When I'm in the gym, I'm just getting after it, myself. I'm not really watching other dudes. Now, I've been to competitions where guys were, lifting for records, and the strongest one I've seen, I want to say, was 525. All right, let's check out the next question, guys. Have you ever interacted with National Guard SF? How do you feel about them? So yeah, I got a lot of buddies that are National Guard SF. One of them is Larry Washington. He was on the show. If you haven't seen his segment, make sure you go check it out. But yeah, they're SF dudes just like we are. They went to the same selection. they go through the same qualification course. And then I think it's harder, if anything, for those dudes, man, because they're managing two careers, one in the military and one in the civilian sector, doing whatever it is that they're doing. On top of that, they have their families and all that stuff right there, right? So if anything, I think it's a lot more difficult for those dudes. But again, they're SF dudes just like we are, right? Hopefully that answered your question. Next question, what are a few of the worst things you've eaten in the context of survival when you are either on base or in training? I would say probably the worst thing I've eaten while I was in training was pine needles, right? Pine needles. I remember being at SEER and we were, evading, and I think, we probably just had one of the worst teams out there, and we were starving, man. This is, going on day 2, and we haven't eaten anything, so we're, just going around finding whatever we can, and I don't know where I heard it from, but somebody told me that pine needles are very rich in nutrition, and I'm like, really, pine needles? So yeah, man, I got to the point where I was so hungry, like I started eating pine needles, and the area that we train in, there's a shit ton of pine needles. It's, we call it pine land, right? There's pine needles everywhere. So I was just eating pine needles, man, for, days on end. Fast forward, we get to the portion of the training where the interrogation and all that stuff takes place, and you look around the fucking little shitter we have, and it's just balls of pine needles coming out of dude's ass, and that's because everybody was eating pine needles also, right? So yeah, if I had to say the worst thing I've eaten, it's probably pine needles. Let's check out the next question. Were you good at swimming before going to selection? So prior to going to selection, yes, I swim pretty good, and that's because I knew that there was a swim test at selection. So leading all the way to when I was back at Fort Riley, Kansas, I did a lot of swimming there. And then once I got to the qualification course, I was getting a lot of swimming done, not only at the apartment that I lived and also the gym that they have here on Fort Bragg, right? So swimming for me was a continuous thing because I didn't grow up swimming. So I had to keep bettering myself when it comes to being in the water, right? So hopefully that answered your question. Next question, guys. Thoughts on 75th Ranger Battalion? Bro, when it comes to raids, ambushing, or just anything that has to do with elite infantry, Ranger Battalion's where it's at, man. Like, I respect those dudes. They're very big army, dress right dress. We're going to get the job done in a proficient manner. And I have nothing but respect for those dudes, man. They do a lot for this nation. So, yeah, I'm a fan of Ranger Battalion, and I don't have anything bad to say about those dudes, man. I know a lot of good dudes out there that are Rangers, right? Next question, guys. Do first group 18 Charlies really like ladyboys? Oh, man. No comments, man. I know first group has, that particular stigma that sticks to them. And I've heard stories about that shit going down firsthand. So I know there's a lot of shenanigans going down over at first group when it comes to Thailand and the extracurricular activities that takes place down there, right? But if you're asking because you're into that, then yeah, first group is definitely the place for you. All right, let's check out the next question, guys. Are special operators of all branches trained in advanced driving? Yes, so to an extent, right? So once you get to whatever entity you're going to be serving in, whether it's, Air Force, Marines, Navy, Army, you'll get a chance to go to advanced schools, right? There's a variety of driving courses out there that are available to whoever within the DoD outfit wants to go to it, right? So I know here at Third Group, we've sent a lot of guys to different driving courses, and I've been there at the same times where Marines and Navy, like, they've also been there also. So yes, you will get that opportunity to improve your driving skills. Hello, sir. Are there any opportunities to visit home during the qualification course on the weekends? Yes. So once you go to selection and you PCS or you move here to Fort Bragg, guys, you could bring your family, and throughout the year-long process, you'll be able to visit family members. You'll have your family here. The only part of the qualification course that requires you to go out to the field for a prolonged period of time is SUT, and then you have Robin Sage, and then SEER. throughout the remaining of the course, you're able to go home at night, and during the holidays, you also get a chance to go visit your mom and dad and wherever they're located. All right, so don't think that throughout that year-long period you're going to be secluded to just Fort Bragg. You'll get a chance to do all the stuff that regular soldiers typically do. All right, so I hope that answered your question. Next question: what separates a guy who makes it at CAG selection versus someone that doesn't, from what you've seen? Bro, I honestly couldn't answer that one, man. I don't really follow those guys' selection nor career path that close, and I really haven't given it any thoughts. All right, so I can't honestly speculate on this specific topic. Thoughts on someone trying to balance Guard SF while becoming a flight instructor? I mean, it's possible, because again, once you are in the National Guard and you've gone through selection and the Q course, your hours or your drill time is going to be based on whatever that company is. So you can easily handle your duties as a National Guard SF guy and then have a regular job or go to flight school or do whatever extra activities that you want to do. So it's definitely possible. You just have to manage your time accordingly. All right. Hopefully that answered your question. Let's read the next one, guys. What percentage of enlisted Green Berets have college degree? Believe it or not, man, there's a very high number of Green Berets that have college degrees, right? Because towards the back end of my career, they started making college credits or college degrees a requirement to get promoted to E8, to be a team sergeant. So a lot of guys were rushing to get their degrees. Also, the 18X-ray population, majority of them come in the military with degrees. So I would say there's a very, very high percentage of SF guys that actually have their degrees, right? Next question, guys. Does being a Green Beret gets you more chicks? Yes, all right? 3 rules of SF. Make sure you always look cool. Rule number 2, make sure you know where you're at. And rule number 3, if you don't know where you're at, then revert back to being cool, right? And looking cool does get you chicks. Next question comes from Trevor Beeman. What's the price what it takes for you to give a blowjob? Can't really put a price on that, Trevor, because that shit would never happen. All right, next question. Did you ever deploy to Colombia? No, never been. I just hear the stories from my 7 group buddies. All right. Next question. How many other Haitians do you know that went to SF? I actually know of 3 that is currently in the regiment, right? But I'm also not looking around looking for Haitian dudes that have gone to SF. So I do not know how many are there, right? Next question, guys. Are you and the F&G Academy dudes going to collaborate again? Yes, if the opportunity comes up. I am still in touch with those guys. So it's just a matter of reaching out and seeing what our availability is, all right? Next question. Why didn't you try out for CAG/Delta Force? I've thought about it several different times, but at the point of my career where I was enjoying it, man. I was loving what I was doing. I love being an SF guy in a team room with 11 other dudes just doing Lord knows what. I never really wanted to leave that to go over there, right? So that's why I just stayed in SF, because I was enjoying it that much, right? Last question, guys. Any Thailand stories? Again, I've never been to Thailand because I'm not a first group guy. I'm a third group guy. And for you guys that don't know what that means, each one of the groups are geographically aligned to a specific region of the world. So first group has like the Asian continent, where they'll go to Thailand and some of these other places over there. 7th group, of course, has Latin America. 10th group has Europe. 3rd group has Africa. And then 5th group has the Middle East, right? So majority of your Thailand stories are going to come from the individuals from first group, right? We just hear about them through the grapevines, and we make fun of first group for all of that going down, right? Thank you for your questions. Again, every Wednesday I'm answering questions from Instagram. So if you haven't been over there, Beret Chronicles, go ahead and follow me over there and look out for the Ask a Green Beret questions. over there, guys, and I will answer those questions for you on Wednesdays. All right. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.